Two sides that are desperate to end their season with some vibes. Carlton, they're searching for one last spark, fighting for a bit of pride. Hinkley's last year for Port. They want to send him off, hopefully with 2 wins. Today we're breaking down the matchup, the numbers, the tactics that could decide it all. It's round 23, so the marvel is going to be a scrap. Saturday Arvo, Footy doesn't get much better than this, does it? Two sides playing for nothing more than Premiership points and a little bit of vibes. 7-14 for the Blues, limping to the finishing line, losing 7 of their last 8 and looking to avoid their lowest finish since 2019. Port Adelaide, on the other hand, transitional year for them, 8-13. They're in free fall at the minute, dropping 4 straight. Not the send-off they want for Hinkley. This is a clash between two clubs desperate to find something before the curtain comes down. Both of them with big changes expected in 2026. This one's going to be desperate and decided in trench warfare. Carlton gave Gold Coast a genuine scare for about 10 to 15 minutes. They were sluggish early, but they did come home with a wet sail, hinting that there might be a spark somewhere in that blue jumper. The question is, can they do it for 4 quarters? Port Adelaide looked lively at times against Fremantle, particularly early doors, had a handy lead, but got absolutely overrun. This has been the story of not just this month, their season, fading when the game wears on. Both teams have got a game left after this to make a statement. For Carlton, they've got Port Adelaide this game and Essendon. For Port, it's Gold Coast after this. This is a game that both have circled as probably their best shot for an elusive win. Let's look at Carlton then. 13th for the season for scoring, a middling attack that struggles to find scoreboard pressure. Points against, 11th. It's not a disaster, but it is vulnerable. Contested possessions, again, elite at the coalface, and 4th for clearance differential. Strong inside craft. Inside 50 differential is 10th. It's positive, it's not negative. And shots per inside 50, bottom tier to go with 16th for scoring efficiency. This is a blunt side that does get looks at goal. Port Adelaide, on the other hand, they are a bottom tier scoring side. Only 74.8 points, 15th. Points against, leaky, 14th. Contested possession differential, one of the lowest in the comp, 17th. 12.2 again, struggling to win any form of ball in the heat. Post-stoppage work at 14th. Clearances, like we say, very poor for them. Inside 50, too much strength on the back foot, 13th. Shots per inside 50, better than Carlton's, but still not great. And scoring efficiency, 14th, bottom tier. What does this mean? Carlton's profile shows a side that suits Voss's narrative. Solid at the contest, solid at clearance, top 5 for both. But the strength isn't converting into any form of scoring dominance. Points 4 aren't great. Scoring efficiency, bottom tier, shows they're struggling to turn any form of ascendancy into goals. Even though they're ranked 6th for defensive 50 to I-50 conversion, which would indicate a strong side, their shot accuracy, their ability to create quality looks is poor, and the defensive fragility gets them. 12th for turnover differential for the year, 11th points against. They can open up and get to the inside 50, but the problem is they are absolutely vulnerable on the counter. The style of play really is summed up as well. Carlton are one of the strongest kicking sides and had, throughout the season, 7th tackle inside 50 numbers. They play the territory, but when you look at uncontested possession differential, 14th, means they don't look to play on the open side. Carlton wins the ball at the coalface, doesn't do much with it, and bleeds defensively and doesn't get enough conversion to really lock it in. Carlton are a team that's built for a grind, not flair. When we look at Port, it paints a very similar picture. A side that is under siege, both in contested and uncontested areas. Points 4, 15, 14 for gains, showing there is a massive gap in their ability to attack, but also defend. And they struggle to generate enough offense. They leak so much, particularly against fast ball movement. The contested issues are always a thing that plagues Port. Negative 12, 17 and 5.1 negative inside 50s against. They get beaten around the source. They don't gain any control around the territory. 15th as well for D50 to I50, meaning their rebound doesn't exist. And when they do enter 50, though, they are the 5th best marking side. It means they can isolate them, but that back half is definitely an issue. The turnover battle is a fascinating one. Negative 12.5 from turnover, 14th. Costly errors, pressure against them, gives the opportunity for too many extra chances at the other end. Port is a low-scoring side combined with a leaky defence. Means you are cooked in today's game, and it relies way too much on perfect, clean connections to stay in the game. When we look at that at the last 5, it's really fascinating. For the Blues, they're down by 6, a point a game. They're down to 12 points against 14 for leaking more. The drop-off from contested possessions is fascinating. They're now +2, 9th. Turnover differential is horrific, now 15th. This is basically ball security, nosedive, free-falling Tom Petty style. Time in the forward half, 13th. They've lost the territorial heads. When we look at Port, it's very similar. Drop of 10 points per game to 16th and 16th for points against. It's absolutely blown out. Contested possession differential really struggling down to 16th. Turnover differential nearly negative 40. Diabolical. And time in the forward half, 46%. Always defended. What this tells us in the last 5 matches for the Blues, when you strip it back, Carlton's recent profile screams midfield dominance, ball movement and efficiency, no forward cohesion. 12th for points and 13th for shots at goal, which you could pass it. But 14th from turnover shows they're not even capitalising and they're coming from very vanilla areas. Even more telling is that D50 transition has plummeted to 15, meaning they don't get them quick looks at goal. It means Carlton have stagnated and slowed their gut ball movement down. And defensive, Carlton are sitting in that frustrating area. 14th for points against, or both shots against, 12th for scores conceded from turnover. They're not getting blown apart from transition as badly as Port are, but they're not doing any damage themselves. The biggest issue is that D50 to I50 turnoff. It means that it's very easy to set up when Carlton win it back. You can't consistently defend the length of the ground for 4 quarters, and that has been proven, particularly if you don't hurt teams when you are in ascendancy. Port Adelaide, their attack at the minute is almost bottom tier for every indicator. 16th for points, 18th for scores from turnover, 18th for D50, 16th for time in the forward half. This paints a picture of a side that gets 0 quality looks and spends more time defending than it does attacking, and the defence is hemorrhaging because of it. 16th for points against, 16th for oppo scores, 18th staggering for scores conceded from turnover. They are the worst defending side, if not one of them, in the league. A sign of sloppy ball use, slow defensive recovery. The one bright spot is D50 to I50 means they do get deep into the opposition's defence, but it's not locked there. Port's shape is solid enough at times to limit scores coast to coast, but it doesn't hurt you on the other way. That's often the offset by a sheer volume of entries they face as well. This is a big problem for Port. Now, what does this mean? Well, midfield control versus ball use. Carlton's biggest edge is in the contest. Their contested differential is incredibly swung and it dwarfs Port Adelaide's. Carlton need to win the clearance and the ground ball battle. But if they continue to waste the ball with slow movements and very congested injuries, this is where their forward efficiency will hit them. They'll leave the door wide open. On the flip, Port have a turnover crisis. Their negative 39 turnover differential in the last 5 games isn't catastrophic. It's absolutely shocking. It's not just bad luck, it's an inability to handle pressure and also being very poor on trying to counter and just save face. Carlton's forward half pressure for the season has been good. Recently, it hasn't been brilliant. If they can find a way to return to this and maintain their intensity, territory and time forward, they can really hurt it. Whoever gains territory control early will control this game. Carlton do have an aerial edge per player. It makes them more likely to be able to mark the ball. The big thing is the tackles inside 50. Carlton wants to lock it inside forward 50. Carlton's tolls have to trouble Port's undermanned backline, especially given Port's high opposition mark inside 50 were it. Conversely, Port need to rely and try and be faster, create shallow entries, and get Carlton moving in that back half of the ground. Because if they don't go one-on-one, Carlton win all the aerial contests. Carlton, they've got to look at that uncontested ball to win this game and get control of territory. This will lift scoring efficiency inside 50. Forward pressure relentless. Force Port to turnover. You will punish them and get the ball moving quicker on the outside. Port, they have to protect this ball at all costs. They can't cough it up like they have been doing. Force Carlton to slow it down, blunt their midfield advantage, create repeat stoppages, and then hurt them on the overlap. If you can hit the scoreboard early, Carlton generally break down. This is a genuine bottom six battle in synopsis for attack and defence. Carlton's midfield grunt gives them the slightest advantage, but if Port can withstand and find a way to stifle Carlton and make it a one-on-one game, they're a chance. But on recent form, Carlton should go into this one and see a big win here. It's been a tough year for both clubs, but there's still a chance to end the season on a positive. Can Carlton's inside strength find some outside gloss and find that forward marking and forward pressure game that made them surge in 2023? Or can Port do it one more time for Ken Hinkley? Drop your tips in the comments below. Make sure you like and subscribe. We will be live for this one, so I can't wait for you to join me. Make sure you give some support to the channel. We're nearly at 9K. I'll see you soon. Pommy out.